This Baseplan Presents video features how to control and report on your sub-hire re-rent margin, focusing on the following areas: setting up subcontractor equipment, adding rental rates for revenue and cost, viewing the supplier invoice and expected costs, authorizing sub-hire transactions, reporting on the sub-hire margin at various levels.
Okay, so I'm currently logged into Baseplan Enterprise, and we're going to be going through how we can actually manage and track and compare our revenue and cost against sub-hire items, or maybe you might call them cross-hire, or maybe if you're in the US, you call them re-rent. So let's just walk through how we can create a contract for a sub-hired or a cross-hired item, and then look at how the system will auto-generate the relevant invoices to match off and create the amounts that we can reconcile. So I'm just going to go down to our equipment rental screen. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a brand new contract. Now, before actually we start this, I just want to show you the equipment ledger on where you configure your cross-hired items. So I've got an item set up here called, I think not cross 19. So 19-foot scissor. And my category is XX. It's the type is a scissor 19-foot. The make, not applicable. Now we might put in there JLG, Genie, Haul It, whatever we want to, if we want to go down to that level, but we can use any make in this instance. It's a 19-foot scissor, and it's just a cross-hire 19 again. Now, the main point in this is the owner option is ticked to subcontractor. And now we can choose who we want the subcontractor to be, or we can change it every single time. Now, this is not a serialized unit. As you can see here, I've got 20 items down here. You can make this 100, you can make this 1,000, however you want it to be, but it's where we can track all of our cross hires or sub hires or re-rents, the terminology you want to use, and then look at the profitability against each of them as time goes on. So I'm going to use this X19 scissor in this example. So if I just go to our contract again, I'm going to go a new contract wizard, and I'm going to choose our customer. I've got Valaris Construction, choose my job site, I'm going to North Connects. For those of you who are in Sydney, that tunnel is now open. I've used it and it has taken a lot of trucks off the road. We're gonna go one day, put in at 9 a.m. and finishing at 5 p.m. the next day. Go okay. Now, this is where we're gonna type in that X19. So I do X19. Now what you're going to see here is it's going to pull through the rates for what we're going to be charging our customer. And then this middle section, the cost is what we're expecting to be charged from the other rental company for using their equipment. So I'm going to put in here daily and maybe 200. And what we can do is we can choose the supplier that we're getting the equipment from. So we can say all access, and we can either manually type in the rates in here, or we can go to the supplier or vendor file and put in a percentage, which will just calculate a percentage and calculate it automatically. So if it was 20% margin, obviously it would calculate the number automatically, or I can manually type in the amounts in here as well. So now that that's done, I'm going to hit OK. And I can continue adding more items on here. Now, because I used the new rental wizard, when I close this screen, it's going to bring up the delivery screen automatically. So I've got all the address information, where it's coming from, where it's going to. I can select the line that we're actually organizing the delivery for. Now, we might be doing an internal, so we're picking up the scissor lift and taking it to the customer, or maybe it's external and someone's coming and going to be charging us. We won't talk about deliveries or pickup charges in this video. I'm just going to complete the delivery just so we can see how it flows through. So I hit OK. Once I've hit OK, that's going to create the contract. It'll also generate a copy of the contract for me to view if need be. So we can see here rental contract 6113 with the daily rate. Go back. And this is another video that I will do in the future. We can set this configuration up for when you create contracts to see if you want to print out the operational and safety instructions that go along with the equipment automatically as well. Can come in handy. All right, so now that's been done. So what's occurred on the top right-hand section here of the screen, there's a new menu, which is called sub rental, or if you're in the US, it would actually be displayed as re-rent. Now, what's going to occur every time that we generate an invoice in the system, it will generate a supplier or vendor invoice for the applicable amount that was configured in the system. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and just bill this contract. So let's go through and go to progress invoice. And let's bill tomorrow up until 5 p.m. So I'm just going to do a pre-bill. So it's going to preview the amounts that I'm expecting to generate based upon the date and time set. So we can see here, this is just a pre-bill. My 90-foot scissor, we're going to be billing it at 180. Now I can go back now. And once I hit confirm, that will generate an invoice. So it creates an invoice 7285. Showed me my invoice, into the details of what's been generated. We can go back one screen now. Now, what's occurred in the background is it would have generated a supply invoice for the agreed amount automatically. So I can go up to the sub rental section now. Now, if I go to supply invoicing, you'll see here that it's created a supply invoice automatically for all access equipment. It's linked it to that particular rental contract number, 6113. It's added in the detail line automatically with the agreed rate. And it's basically waiting for me to approve this. And we can see the source is sub-hire. Now, if I did need to provide the company with like a purchase order or some type of approval before generating the delivery, I can go to print order and I can just preview this and email this over to the relevant the person that's supplying the equipment, and they can see the order number, so 6113, which is what they should be putting on their invoice when it comes across. Now, what we're going to do is, let's say that's come in. Now, someone needs to approve this, or maybe we want to add some additional costs into this particular example. So I can go up to sub-rental invoicing, and I can go to supply invoices again. And let's just say that the invoice has arrived, the AP department are looking at it, and the numbers don't look correct. Maybe they're meant to be invoice 150, but it'll be invoice 165. What we can do is we can edit this, and we can say authorize required. So when I tick this will basically wait for somebody to then action this and sign off this particular cost. Now, you might have the person that's doing this authority not have the right permissions to go to the supplier or vendor invoicing, but they do have the security to go to the rental contract screen. So they can get notifications. We do, depending on how you want to set up the system, we can configure things to shoot off things for who needs to authorize what. But we've got this rental contract number. Maybe someone's received a notification. They can actually go up here and go authorize sub-rental supply invoices. And we can see here, it's got the rental order number automatically and the amount that they need to authorize. Then they can then double check this, talk with their team, and then put in the amount that they need to authorize. And then put in my password, which I'll just copy across. So we can paste that in. So that moves it off, so it's been authorized. And if we went back to our supplier invoicing screen again. The authorized buy will be pre-filled automatically by Baseplan as the user that's actually logged into in this example. Now let's just say that there was multiple lines on the invoice and we wanted to consolidate this together. We could go to Actions and select Subrental. And then we can start selecting the lines that we want to actually pull onto this invoice. We can also, which we'll talk about in a future video, we can merge or split out the relevant invoices as well. Now, what's going to occur is I can put in the invoice number that's come in here, take it off hold, and I can just confirm the total, so 165, and I can post this. Now you can see here it's still linked it to the rental contract and it's generated the GL batch automatically. So if I double clicked on that, we can see here it's hit the general ledger automatically and it's posted to the relevant GL accounts, which we'll set up as our sub-rental account. So then we can start reconciling that at the GL level as well if we wanted to. Now, if we did want to start provide reporting, we can then report on multiple levels. We can report on down to the serial, down to the equipment number. We can do it on the make, category, type, whatever the scenario might be in that instance. We can do the reconciliation at a contract level. And all those types of reporting, I would typically recommend people do in something like Power BI, because all the data is sitting in the database. They just need to access the data. Now, if you did want to do a manual check, you can go to your menu and type in subrental. So if I just go down to reports and let's go to this one. So the rental number is 6113. So 6113. And preview this. Let's make this a bit bigger so we can see. So we can see here it's pulled through the relevant contract number. It's showing me my margin, and it's got all the information about what the equipment is and then the invoices as well. But me personally, I would prefer to do this at more of a top level. So you can start seeing, show me my profitability at a category level and then go down to the type and then the make and then the model potentially. Or maybe show me my margin against a particular supplier or vendor, or show me via certain contracts or branches. Like there's a lot of mix and matching that we can do in that instance. But hopefully, I guess this video is really giving you some ideas on how you can start managing and controlling your costs and ensuring that you're making margin on all of your sub hires or re-rents or cross hires, whatever terminology you use. If you have any questions or ideas on future topics, please leave a comment in the section below, and I hope to see everyone in the next video.